Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, this is the greatest time of the day. From the center of the universe, New York City, it's the main event you've been waiting for. It's time to go in the cage with CYCLONE.
Your Messiah is back. And look, I told you, co-host.
Second Messiah.
Ladies and gentlemen, from MMAUK.net, want to get that one right.
Yes.
And in the girls' corner, Miss Kerry Stellar.
Hey everyone, how you guys doing? I'm so excited to be on tonight with you, co-hosting.
Not as excited as me having, I mean, you could see my arms, but like if I took the shirt off, you'd see goosebumps, but like you'd also like heave. I mean,
Stop. See, I'm close enough to see the goosebumps, and I'm just excited about how excited CYCLONE is. This is just super exciting.
So much going on. First of all, the day started out poopy, and I am so happy it cleared up because I did not want to come all the way out here again in bad weather. Again.
It was a fear. I was like, oh no, I'm going to leave my house and it's going to be just a disaster. There was, probably a patch or two of ice, but you just got to drive normal.
No, I don't drive normal. I'm from Brooklyn. It's like 90 in and out.
I'm shocked you even drive. Like, what's the point over there?
Wow, so much to get into. Guys, please, pretty please, click share. I'm telling you, this show is going to be lit. And not lit.
Not that we have a problem with that kind of thing.
CycloneComedy.com, Psyche Prods on Facebook, and of course, take a look what's coming up on EffectiveAggression.com. Brazilian Power, Royce Gracie, Vitor Belfort, two great Brazilians coming onto the site very, very soon for your purchase. So check out EffectiveAggression.com. And we're going to take a very, very quick break before we get this whole shing-ding started. Right after this.
This is Frank Edgar. This is the Barbarian Tim Bosch.
I'm World Series of Fighting undefeated lightweight champion Justin Gaethje.
The MMA legend, UFC Hall of Famer, Iceman. Chuck it up. If you got the guts, step in the cage with CYCLONE.
And we're back. And now, I'm going to take her and make things slightly uncomfortable.
Oh no.
I gotta do it. I gotta do it.
You're allowed.
Okay, so what got you into MMA in the first place?
Okay, well, man, a lot of my friends were really into MMA when we were younger. I started out watching, I think I started out really like my journey into it. Man, I watched boxing matches in high school. We had this really awesome English teacher, Mr. Roth, shout out. And at the end of the day, on a Friday, if we all passed a test with like an 80 or above, he would put on an old boxing match. Coolest fucking teacher alive, right?
Wow.
Are we allowed to curse?
We can.
I'll try not to. So he was really awesome. So that's how I got into boxing. And then I got into the WWE from one of my sister's boyfriends. And then one of my friends put on a UFC fight. I was like, all right, well, WWE, done with that. This is like my thing. And then I'll never forget when my dad came in and he's like, Kerry, you got to turn on Showtime or whatever it was. And he's like, there's this blonde chick beating the crap out of somebody on there. And it was Ronda Rousey in Strikeforce. And I think she was beating up Misha Tate. And I was like, this is just amazing. He's like, I didn't know girls did this. So fell in love. It became a love affair. I started doing a little kickboxing back in, 2003. Trained for a long time. I should have been getting really serious and really training, and instead I was too busy partying, drinking, and doing drugs. Got sober, needed to lose some weight, started really kickboxing, lost all the weight I needed to. I looked great. I was doing fantastic, and I took a couple of crazy injuries outside of training that derailed me from ever doing any actual competing with mixed martial arts or competing with BJJ or competing and doing a kickboxing fight. So my last injury was 4 years ago. I fell down the stairs. I tore both my shoulders out, oddly enough. They work enough, not great, but they do what they can. And instead of being really upset and miserable and just sitting on my couch for ever and just crying about it because I was very angry, I'm an amateur pool player and I couldn't even do that for a while. Yeah. So one of my friends said, you really like MMA and you really like talking about it. Why don't you start writing? So I did, and a couple people asked me to be on their shows and their podcasts. And I did a radio show with this guy, Errol Marks, and I flipped out on air. And Peter Knox at MMA UK found me immediately. He was like, we love you. We think you're great. You don't care. You have no filter. I'm like, none. And that was pretty much the relationship I've had with mixed martial arts.
This is how great of a reporter I am, because I pick up on little things. It's incredible how I keep screwing up in relationships, picking up little things. What do you mean looked good? You passphrased it. You said looked good.
Well, I look.
No, not past tense. Not look.
Well, I was in extremely different shape. I couldn't wear a size small because on a shirt, it would, I could possibly stretch out the back. My shoulders aren't where they used to be. My arms don't look like they did anymore. So I used to look a certain muscular frame, and I had a very different shape in that respect. But my face looks good.
Do you really want to talk shapes to a freaking oval?
Hey, but you know what? When you lose what you had and you wish you had it back, I guess for anybody it's going to be, it doesn't matter if you're shaped like a string bean, a muscular string bean, an oval.
I would not have picked up on that at all.
Weird, right?
And we have that in common also, playing pool.
Oh, you play pool?
Former 9-ball tourney champion 6 times over.
Okay. Singles boards tournament? Mm-hmm. Okay. So did you play for the APA or a different league? Because there's a gajillion and 10 leagues out there.
No, an independent league in Brooklyn.
Very cool.
But if you want to talk injuries...
Doesn't matter, but yeah, it's still...
Okay, after I saw her, we saw each other during the PFL finals. Here's what's happened to me since then.
Oh, no.
Okay. After the PFL, my hit list was, my vision started playing games. Mm-hmm. I had a massive virus. Oof. I then, in my office, leaned on my radiator.
Oh, burned the shit out of your hand, huh?
Fell asleep with my arm glued to the radiator where I couldn't peel it off.
Yeah, you wouldn't be able to. Your skin would singe to it.
This gets better. At Mohegan Sun, I stumble. Some people might call it fall face first. Rip up both of my legs. Don't look at it. Gets infected. It's starting to heal It's starting to heal a little bit. My left knee is now disjointed.
Yeah.
And now my vision's, now that my legs are getting better, my eyes are going bad again. I am the king of injuries. You cannot, I am the GOAT of injuries, damn it.
I thought I had it bad. I mean.
No. I was listed when I was a kid as a health risk. I couldn't get health insurance as a kid.
Wow.
Because every insurance company.
What are you, Richard Bronson? Is that his name? The guy that does all. I actually got his name right.
I was listed as a health risk.
Wow. Richard Bronson, I can't believe I fucking got that. Holy shit.
So, have you ever been awestruck, either interviewing or?
Yeah, actually, a couple times. I definitely was a bit when I interviewed Chris Cyborg. She is really super inspiring to speak to. And Aaron Pico was really, really just way wise beyond his years that I was so taken aback by it. I was like, wow. Because, you know, I interview people that have been fighting for a while and amateurs, and he was probably, you know, Chris's language barrier, she does speak English, but the, you know, the little accent that she has and the broken English, that was different than Aaron. Man, there was just something really, really, really special about him where it was just different than any other interview I'd done. Valerie Laredo was great too. She was a good interview. And first thing she said to me was, it's really nice to speak to a woman in the media. I was like, yes.
So you were there Valentine's week?
No, I was in a pool tournament, actually. It's either MMA or pool now. It's one or the other. And it's a very tough toss-up for me because, you know, covering a fight, it's great. I've done a gajillion and 10 now, so it's not that it's becoming old at all. But if I have the opportunity to win money or go to Las Vegas for a pool tournament, I will pass on the MMA fight in lieu of doing a pool tournament.
See, now I was going to ask you, being that MMA is basically Thursday, Friday, Saturday deal,
Mm-hmm.
There's no good way to ask, so I'm...
Bring it.
How does that affect one's social life?
I don't have much of one, and it's okay. I am 40 years old. I have lived 20...
She's fucking lying.
I am 1979, February 2nd. Not even kidding you. Just turned 40, and I have done, I mean, with my 13 years being an addict, I've lived, I can't even tell you how many. I'm a cat. I'm probably walking on my last like 3-4 lives. You know what I mean? So the way I see it is the social life, I've had it. I've been there. I've done that. I've walked red carpets. you name it, I've pretty much done it. So, and I've been to Vegas, but actually I really would like to join a new pool league that sends you out to Tennessee, and there's a Hawaii trip soon. So there's a lot of really cool things, you know, that honestly I get more perks out of being an amateur pool player than some professional fighters that I know, which is so crazy to say that.
Really?
Yeah, I don't know people that get paid to go to fucking, excuse my language, to go to where they're fighting. They only get paid when they show up and get in the cage. Like, you get paid to fight, and you get paid if you win. You know, there's like a show up money, and then there's win money, right? So if you're able to get in the cage, you get through the weight cut, you get through it all safely, your prize is, okay, well, you get to then earn your money, right? Your other money, your bonus money, I would call it, because you already got your show money. Whereas I get money and a trip, and get money when I get there, and more chances to win money. It's pretty incredible. And I'm working for it. I mean, I'm competing. I'm working, you know, practicing. So it's not easy, but you know, there's a lot of opportunities out there in the amateur pool world. Billiards. Shout out to any of my friends watching. What's up, guys? I hope my girls are watching. I have a lot of pool playing girls that might be on here. I don't know if you know his name. I interviewed. I did a production video with Tony Robles. He is a professional pool player.
That sounds very familiar.
Oh, you know who he is? Okay, yeah, I just did a video with him Friday, and it should be coming out within the week. I produced it, which is, I'm not the most techie person, but apparently I'm a lot better than I thought, because this came out great. I was like, all right, I can do this.
Is there anything you hate about the business?
Man, I really thought that MMA was going to be this huge community of respect. And I was so sorely mistaken. It's one thing to see fighters, kind of rag on each other because, they do it when they're going to get in a fight. And that's totally acceptable. But when you see reporters doing it to each other and not even doing it to each other's face, somebody will just make a post and be like, oh, these blah, 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 and just talk a bunch of crap. And it's like, dude, we're friends. I'm seeing this. I'm your colleague. I'm one of those people you're talking crap about. You know what I mean? And then you get paper fans. So there's a lot of disheartening stuff about it that I really don't enjoy, but I freaking love MMA so much.
Because everybody wants to be Ariel.
I don't.
Everybody.
I'm Kerry Stellar, and I'm the next Kerry Stellar.
Obviously.
Don't be the next
couldn't
him. Be
Ariel.
the next you. That's the best thing you could say to someone.
You know what? My very first acting coach said that to me we had to do monologues, and he's like, Don't be Al Pacino, dude. Be you.
No, it's so true. I have a girl that I know personally that I'm friendly with, and when she, got she was a very pretty girl, beautiful actually, as a matter of fact. And when she started to go with the lip injections and got her boobs like way bigger than what she had originally, and I wanted to so badly pull her aside and be like, listen, there is already a Pamela Anderson. That shit's been done. Be you. Be unapologetically you. It's the best thing you could do. And you have people wanting to be you. But my advice is be you. Don't be them.
Nobody wants to be this. Let's face facts. What's been the best event you've covered?
PFL. Every single one of theirs has, and it's not just the event itself, it's how they treat their fighters, how they've treated the press. Bellator, UFC, take notes because y'all ain't doing it right. They have and I've actually spoken to them all on a personal level. So it's a very, you can actually go up to promoters and to, not just promoters, to people that are in the press world that you don't realize work for PFL, and you could talk to them. It's really wild. It's different than that. I've said hi to Scott Cook or whatever we pronounce his last name, but I've actually shaken Carlos Silva's hand, and you know what I mean? So it's a whole different ball game. Spoken to Ray Sappho.
See, I think that's actually going to change.
You do?
And it's going to be one
because
of the
of the ESPN deal, you think it's going to? I hope not. Please, PFL, if you're watching Greg Savage, please don't change how you guys are because it has made you what you are.
Very true. But here's my thing. Now that they're going to be doing this big shing-ding type of intro of who's going to make the season, and that they're doing this, they're going to try their own embedded type series. Look, it's great for them to get the ESPN money. Mm-hmm. I think NBCSN is now done because that was the only thing basically.
Absolutely. I mean, they have amateur fights on there, but I don't know anybody really that's watching them. I hate to be that person, but I'm not. I
don't see them continuing. And now that they're going to have all the ESPN people around them, I think the days of sort of here's the thing.
I don't think so. I really don't, because I've become such personal, friendly with them. With the PR people, very friendly, and I've gotten personal emails. I've asked people, did you get that email? They're like, no, that was an actual, someone really wrote you real personal email, thank you for coming. We'd like you to, come to this. Oh, we didn't know if you got the email. They sent, they sent out a flash email, but we wanted to personally invite you. I'm like, oh, that makes me feel really special. You know?
My thing is, I remember when Dana White would stand outside of a hotel giving away tickets. That's what, not that Ray stands outside the hotel that I'm not going to mention. Say,
but he also doesn't strike me as a Dana White, and neither does Carlos. They're both so nice. They're both really personable people. I just can't see them.
I just think with the ESPN whispers, and now that they're under basically a UFC umbrella,
Well, it's funny because one of my friends had mentioned, Tom Kilkenny, if you're watching, how are you? He had said he couldn't believe when he saw, was it Ray or one of them that walked out Khabib when he fought Connor, one of them was there and they were wearing the UFC shirt. He's like, "What? You're not promoting your own promotion?" Well, when in Rome, you kind of have to. I'm assuming he had no choice, especially if he's walking out with him, that he's going to have to wear the walkout gear. That's just my assumption, especially because they have that strong deal with Reebok. However, I did understand that, and then it also, what you just said, kind of makes me feel like maybe they are somewhat umbrella with the UFC. I'm hoping not, because I love the fact that you have to really earn your way in there. I mean, and not that like Andre Harrison didn't, because he did, and he deserved to win that belt, but I don't even think it was a mistake. I think it was just honestly the format of him having to fight twice in a night. I think there might have been an adrenaline dump of some sort. But the fact that you have to really earn it, and it's not just given to like, oh, well, because he's a name, let's just give him that. You know what I mean? Right. Which we see always in the UFC. I mean, Covington's getting the title shot. I think they just want to get him the hell out of there, honestly. I think they're just sicking Usman on him to take him out and be done with him.
Well, staying on the PFL for a second. Any feelings on the fact that they're sticking with six divisions, but they're 86ing the men's middleweight?
I know.
I mean, that's the one thing I got from every single fighter I talked to is, we're on a consistent schedule. We love that. We don't want to do once a year, twice a year. Now all those middleweights, if they don't get picked up by someone else, now they're off for a year.
Yeah.
And for the guys that didn't make the playoffs and they were 3-4 fights and done, that's even longer of a vacation for them.
It was shocking that they got rid of the middleweights. I was a little taken aback by that.
I mean, especially with their champion Luis Taylor, he's one of the older ones.
He's awesome.
You gotta kind of keep him. I could see if a 23-year-old, you park him for a year. The older guy, you want to give him as many fights as possible.
Absolutely. I wonder if they're going to do maybe how they were having Kayla do. She didn't have a division then, so maybe they'll have them just come in and do like a middleweight bout on the card, not a division.
I would like that. That you know what? I didn't think of it, and I think of like everything. That's one thing I didn't think of.
I have a little bit of a marketing brain, and I tend to think of a.
You know what? This is like Doug Heffernan, Carrie Heffernan. It's. So I want you guys to keep clicking share over and over and over again. All right?
Please and thank you.
See, I'm tired of pleasing. They don't listen to me. Listen to her. I get it. She's and I'm. I get it. I get it. It's the way it is. Check out Psyche Prods on Facebook. If you notice, by the way, folks, no roulette wheel this week. You'll see why in a little while, but we're going to take a quick little break. And when we come back, we got some more big stuff to talk about right after this.
Hi, I'm Jim Miller. This is Dan Merigliotta. I'm Derek Brunson.
I'm Nick the Carney Lentz, and you're locked into the cage with Cyclone.
Okie dokie, your Messiah is back. Now look, before we get into 235, I want to start it with, first of all, guys, Patrick, you finally took yourself away from watching Philadelphia sports for a second. I thank you for that. All right? leave Bryce Harper alone, all right? He sucks. It's too much money. You guys paid him too much money, and you're not getting out of it. Anyways, something happened in Vegas yesterday.
Oh, yeah, I saw that.
Now, look, we got to call it for what it is. And I have a love-hate relationship with Ali Abdelaziz.
A lot of people do.
As someone who is an actor, I love the fact of having a manager, an agent that's just a shark.
Yeah.
But there's a level of professionalism that has to go into being a manager. You're not seeing Scott Boras, the Malky brothers, Daniel Rubenstein throwing hands, taking swings, taking a bat to somebody's kneecaps.
No.
None of it. You can't cross that line, even if you were a former fighter.
Yeah.
So I think we're in agreement on that. But if Vegas is going to say that they want to try to control people's verbiage, which is going to have to, that would go to the Supreme Court, because the second they park a fighter, you can't fight here because you opened up your mouth.
I beg to differ.
Really?
Say that to the NFL. I beg to differ. If they want to legitimize MMA, they have to follow the code of conduct as real sports do. And real sport athletes in football and basketball and baseball get fined and suspended for certain verbiage. You can't go around being a prejudiced, racist prick and keep on getting away with it. You can't. You can't sell a fight on racism. You just can't do it.
But who's to draw the line? Especially now.
It's got to be drawn, and it's drawn in other sports. And they want to make UFC legitimized. They keep on saying it. It's going to be one of the best. It's going to be one of the best. Well, you know what? Then you have to act accordingly. I mean, there's no problem with just tweaking the way that things are said. You know what I mean? They're not telling him you can't say this. They're just saying don't be a borderline racist, prejudiced. You know, don't attack a man's religion and country, and we're fine with it. Don't call what did he call what's that guy Floyd Mayweather? He's calling him a monkey. You don't do that. You know what I mean? So just the way he is to me, I think it was well grounded, and I think it was absolutely they needed to do something.
Point of fact, I've called Floyd so much worse.
But you're not on TV. Sure. You're not standing in front of a bunch of fans. You're not standing in front of a bunch of kids and in front of a very angry country already, where people are pissed off about what other people are saying. And I was really taken aback by the people that got so upset, you know, and were like, oh, you know, Conor McGregor, he went after Conor McGregor, and these are people that are like, oh, you can't say, you know what I mean? And I'm like, where do you draw your line? Because at the end of the day, it's such a similar, you know, you can't have somebody doing that. It just okays bad behavior, you know?
Now, let's say you're right, because you're a woman, mostly
Let's
always
just
right.
say I am right, because we'll go with that.
Do you think that even though Colby said he's not calling the popo, he's not pressing charges, he's not doing anything like that, but do you think for the action of taking a swing, which is technically illegal, and
it depends where you are, because in New York State it's not, unless you leave a mark on the person. Right. Mark my words, it isn't, because I've actually talked to a cop about defending yourself within reason. I was told.
But if let's say within reason, something like that. Well, if anything, Colby should have been the one swinging, because they all came up on him.
Oh, he could have. He was within but it was honestly, after the bus incident, it's another staged act just to, you know, get the whole beef between Colby and Dana, because he bum rushed Dana in a casino, and you saw how he was acting on the TV with that creepy serial killer smile, like crooked smile, like, guy, no. Like, and I don't care what he says. That doesn't even bother me. It's just his He's just a bizarre individual. And I get it because he's trying to be the next Conor McGregor, but Colby Covington, be you. Do the next you. Don't be the next loudmouth on the scene because it's just been done. People don't love it anymore. People look at him like he's a joke. And then you have the shit that happened yesterday with, it's just... Do I think it was right that Ali went to throw a swing? He didn't connect. I wouldn't call it a swing. I would call he maybe went to slap. I don't know. It didn't look like anything serious to me, but it shouldn't be allowed. No, he shouldn't. He's a manager. He's not a fighter.
Here's my take. I think that now to be a manager, you have to be licensed.
He's not a licensed manager?
No, you have to be.
Okay, I'm like...
And he owns his own business, and you must get... I'm not sure for sports. I would imagine they have to. They have to be licensed also by SAG and...
I'm sure.
After.
Well, yeah.
I think that there should be a parking of Mr. Aziz for at least some time. Because if his fighters get parked for... jumping over a cage and doing this and doing that, and you're supposed to be the professional manager, you have to be held to an even higher standard. And this isn't his first time.
Who's
This
going to hold
is
him to a
Ali's
standard, though? Because UFC is not. It would have to be the athletic commission. At that point, it would have to be somebody above the promotion because he's not hired by the promotion. So if you think about it that way, they have no ground to say. They could say you can't come to an event. You know what I mean? But they're not going to. It's never going to happen. They could, the NSAC could step in and say, well, we're going to say he can't, come to Vegas or whatever. Nevada State Athletic Commission. There's a lot of stuff they can do, but there's a lot of stuff they can't do. And unfortunately, unless there's charges filed, they're not going to be able to do much of anything. And Colby Covington's not going to do that. He wants a title shot.
Colby, file charges. 86 the rat. Look, like I said, I have a love-hate relationship with Aziz, and when he does good things, I give him props, and when he steps out of line, I'm the first one. And I'm not even going to talk. I don't know much
about the guy. I only know he manages a ton of fighters.
And they all
very
swear by him.
Fighters.
And they all swear by him. Mm-hmm. Whether they're Dagestani Muslims or they're guys from New Jersey,
or Africa.
Yeah, right. There is something about him, and look, it's not his first run-in. He's had so many run-ins.
Oh yeah.
And nobody's held him accountable to anything. And I'm just saying, if you're gonna hold. And look, I hate to rip on fighters, but they're not exactly all in the cabeza, you know what I'm saying?
Oh, no. I wouldn't even say that they don't know better because they do. Conor McGregor's just an asshole. Let's go with that.
But at the same point, a manager is supposed to be...
No, he should be held to a standard. But there also, and I'm the first one to say refs should be too. I think that there should be someone holding the athletic commissions accountable because they make some really stupid decisions. To tell Khabib he has to do an anti-bullying campaign. I was just like, what? He wasn't bullying anyone. If somebody had insulted my country and my religion and my family over and over again, I might jump out of a cage at them too.
I'd pay them if they'd actually do it in mine.
You know what I mean? It's a touchy thing. People that are and it's not like he's just, an American where we're used to that shit. You know what I mean? They're very serious over there from Dagestan. They're very super serious people. And they're very serious about their religion. Now, you're in America, I don't want to be the person to say it, but I'm going to be the person to say it. We're not. We don't have a real, we don't even have 3 real religions here. It's we're so far detached from religions that it's you can't say that. Well, okay, well, I don't say that. That's fine. That to the point where we're desensitized to it. We're well, whatever. It's just, it's topic of conversation for him. That's his life. You just literally insulted a man's entire life because they spent hours praying. Muslims are extremely serious. So, if you look at it like that and from that perspective, and I'm not trying to change your mind, but when you really look at it and think about it in that respect, that we're just whatever, you know, and Connor's just whatever. And you're looking at a man that, like, that's some serious insult. Serious insult. That's as big as you could get, pretty much, in my personal opinion.
No, I agree with that. And I also, oh boy.
I get so mad. I do, because I'm like, I get catch feelings about that shit, because it's like, you know, there's only so much times you could be slapped in the face before you might want to cock back and punch a person. You know what I mean? Like,
I also agree with something that Phil Hall just messaged in with. And
what up?
I'm not red, Phil, by the way. It's just a reflection because there's a red wall in front of me.
I look really tan. I'll take it.
No. Jay's always attracting the smartest and sexiest ladies for her show.
Thank you. You had my friend Chrissy Andoli on a couple weeks ago, so shout out Chrissy if you're watching.
See, I'm not going to say that, Phil. I'm an old man. She takes it the wrong way. She's gonna habib me.
Every woman, no.
She's gonna habib me. She'll jump up over this chair like a spider monkey and stomp on my head.
Just prefer him to Holly Homia, right in the temple. Right there. Boof. That's my preference.
Anyways, listen, guys. Coming up in a little while, Pinups, Cool Cats, and Comics. So you're gonna share that show too. And you're going to continue to share this show as well. And, guys, as always, please, CycloneComedy.com, Psyche Prods on Facebook. And when we come back, we got more big stuff and some games we're going to be playing right after this.
I'm Dennis Bermudez. Hi, I'm a creepy Ian McCall.
Yo, I'm Kelvin Gastelum.
This is Mark Goldberg.
Yo, I'm the world's most dangerous man, Hall of Famer Ken Shamrock, and you're getting tapped out in the cage with Cyclone.
Happy anniversary, happy anniversary, happy anniversary.
You know, only two things actually happened on today's date in MMA history.
Yes, there was UFC.
Oh, see, snap! Now I'm going to be proven wrong out of all my hard work. If you come up with something else, man, I am.
Yeah, I posted it earlier.
Did you, son of a?
I did. UFC 209.
Was today?
Woodley versus Thompson 2, when Khabib was supposed to fight Tony Ferguson. That didn't happen due to tiramisu, I think.
Oh, damn.
You got the wrong one if you think you're going to stump me.
My hard work, my hard research, just, you know what? Here's my research. I am done. I am, you know.
And there was a card yesterday in history, too. I can't remember which one it was, but I saw it before. I was like, wow, wait, there was something yesterday I missed. It might have been a Holly Holm card. I don't remember, but yeah, sorry about that.
I think I ripped the wrong one, too.
I literally look up every day MMA history.
So do I.
Stuff.
And
yeah.
Well, my genius, worthless apparent research only showed up two things
and what
for
was
today.
It?
Bradley Desir turns 32 today.
Okay, birthday's cool.
And
like that.
Josh Emmett's 34.
Ooh, Josh Emmett. Happy birthday, boys. And
I don't remember
happy
34.
Anniversary, UFC 209. I remember 34. It was good. It was a good age. That was a good age, 34.
You know, my research, that's it. I'm done. You know, that's That's just a kick in the cajones.
You could just email me in the morning and message me. I'll hook you up.
You know?
Is it first thing in the morning, 7 o'clock in the morning? I'm like, all right, what's today in history? What's going on? I always find something cool.
Ladies and gentlemen, your new host of In the Cage with Cyclone. Jeez. I have all my hard work, research.
Yeah.
Jesus.
Sorry.
Motherless son of a...
I always tell people if like you want to know something and you really want to know and you ask me, I am like the ultimate researching champion. When I say something, it's so factually true, it's like ridiculous because I've researched the shit out of it for days.
See, not to sound chauvinistic, but that sounds like every female to me.
No. Those are the ones that'll put a bunny in your pot and like, research your family. I don't give a shit what you got going on in your personal life. No, I'm talking about world topics, politics, MMA, all that stuff. I don't research guys. You are not going to find a bunny in your pot when you get home. Don't worry.
Actually, with me, you might because I'm like a master chef.
Ooh, I would never eat rabbit.
Not.
Ever.
I'm not putting like Bugs Bunny in.
Liar. Lies. Oh, if anybody from my pool team is watching, you're going to like that.
I'm not.
Liar.
I'm not killing bugs.
Fibs.
Fiblin. But, like I said, the roulette wheel is not here, but she is. So this is the way we're going to do it. Let's start our favorite part of the show, the raffle. Okie dokie. So, you are going to be answering people's questions.
Okay.
Miss Smarty Pants.
I'm not great at this shit, so this might end quickly.
This question comes from Bernard Joseph Green. If John Jones stays on the up and up, who do you think has the best chance to beat him?
Oh man. First of all, I don't think that anything could touch John Jones at this point. He is legally allowed to fight with picograms in his system. So I don't really think there's much of an up and up. I think John Jones is as good as he's going to get in the him department. And I think the only person that's ever going to beat John Jones is John Jones himself, and he's going to get in trouble again.
See,
I'm not saying he's going to, but he's the only person that could beat him. He's his own worst enemy, as odd as it sounds.
I'm not going to sing the praises just yet of, Santos and everybody else. But there's a couple of guys that are getting overlooked.
Oh, I'm sure.
And I don't want to say anything yet because another question gets into it as well.
Bring it.
But
that was a pretty crazy answer, right?
It is. And I kind of agree with it. But someone who I'd like to see is Tyson Pedro. I think Tyson could stand and bang with him. I just don't know his cardio.
Everybody thought that Smith was going to be able to KO him and shit, and he just literally, it was just, oh, gosh. But it's still, the illegal kicks, the two of them were just really, him and Conor McGregor are the only two people that could get away with whatever they want because they are huge draws and literally could do anything. Prove me wrong. Oh, I'm waiting. Where's my little desk? With my coffee, the meme guy that says something, prove me wrong. That's me. Wait. Prove me wrong.
This one's from Kenny Hodgkins.
Hello, Kenny.
Do we need to see an Askren Lawler rematch because of the early stoppage?
I would love to see it. Only because of the turn of events. Really not much to do with the early stoppage, and I have my opinion on that, and if you want to wait for my opinion on that, we can, because nobody likes my opinion on it, but it is what it is. But on the turn of events of, Askren, they could have called that fight. They were well within their rights to call that fight when he was being brutalized on the floor. I was like, whoa. I would love to see it again, and I think there's a reason why Askren doesn't want to run it back.
Yeah, because Askren doesn't want to get
He nearly got beat. He almost got TKO'd. In my opinion, he kind of did.
We're on the same page on that one.
Herb just let it go. I mean, and then Herb called it when he did. And I mean, my personal opinion, and like I said before, refs should be held accountable. Absolutely, there should be, who do you answer to? But there is a huge, people don't know unless you have that, what's a criteria of a referee? You don't know, and their criteria is simply, it's their fighter safety regulation. They have to make sure that the fighters are safe, and it's to their discretion. If he felt that there was a problem, it's his discretion. When that cage door is closed, it's not up to the fighters, the coaches, or anybody else. They could try to overturn the decision. It's not going to happen. I think a couple more minutes, maybe seconds, and he would have gone out anyway. I don't think it would have changed much. Just my opinion.
See, she's smart. This one's from Steve Brand. Who should be next for Robbie Lawler?
Well, who I would like to see him next is a whole different ballgame. They're going to make them run it back. Dana White already said that. They said Ben doesn't want to run it back. He goes, what will you do? So that's what's going to happen.
Outside of that, I'm big on if you take a loss to somebody, you try to avenge that loss.
Yeah.
His last loss, not counting Woodley, is RDA. I wouldn't mind.
What is going on? He's fighting. Isn't he fighting in it? No, he's not. I thought he was. Is he? Let's look RDA up. What is going on with him? Rafael dos Anjos. I even say his name right. I have enough friends from Brazil that I better be able to say Rafael dos Anjos correctly. I interviewed I interviewed Anderson Silva's first coach, Edmar dos Anjos, and I had to learn how to say things, and it was really wild. They were like, no, this is how you say it, this is how you pronounce things. Even when interviewing Chris Iborg, I had to learn how to say Curitiba, Brazil, and say it properly so she didn't look at me like I was a sideshow. Yeah, it's tough learning how to say people's last names, especially people that you're like, what? That's a symbol at best. Like Joanna's like Joanna Jacek, her last name. It's just, is that even a word? Like, it's just letters. Makes no sense. But that's how it's pronounced. Let's see. RDA's next fight. Do we know when his next fight is? Do you even?
I don't.
We about to find out. Event results. No, they don't have his next fight coming up. But anyway, next question.
I would love to see that run back.
I think that would be pretty cool, and he's such a fun fighter to watch.
Especially if if Askren gets his way and goes Till Masvidal winner next.
It would be a fun fight to watch because of the lead up already. Till can't stand him. He doesn't like Till. I would have liked to seen him fight Covington. And the winner of that fight, it was my personal opinion. I thought that was the way to go. We all know Dana White loves to change his mind. So, anything could happen in the next couple weeks. What was, could be, what is, or what wasn't.
The next one comes from Susan Walker. And speaking of Kamaru, will Usman be able to stay champ as long as Woodley or even longer?
I think so. Watching the absolute destruction of a man that people couldn't do what he did to that, you know what I mean? Just seeing, in between the second and third, when he went to his stool and just seeing the look of defeat, I said to my friend, he's just completely defeated. You could see it on his face. He lost in spirit in the second round. He was done. I actually thought at one point they might have thrown in the towel. I was like, he might not go back out. Not because he was hurt, because his spirit was crushed. Crushed in the second round. He didn't have a snowball's chance in hell. That guy was on him like I've never seen. It was beautiful, but it was also sad to watch.
I think when they clinched along the fence and Usman drilled Woodley with like 30,000 rib shots.
That was really bad.
I'm like, holy jeez, how is he not collapsing from that? Next one, and remember, guys, when I say by noon, I mean by noon, and you're lucky I'm doing this with the time we have left. This one comes from Brandon May. Why is everyone forgetting about Corey Anderson in the title picture?
maybe he's not making enough noise. You know what I mean? I know that sounds crazy, but I'm saying like people don't realize how much you need to have a huge presence. And I'm not just talking about like fight day. I'm talking about the lead up in months, 2 days of, weeks before. People, social media, use it. Use it. Get your name out there. I mean, I see people crying about fights all the time, and I'm like, well, do something. I mean, make some fucking noise, especially if you're in the UFC. You know what I mean? Like they don't really follow rankings and follow a system of, oh, you're next in line. It's okay. Well, we've seen people get passed over where they were promised a freaking title shot, and it's like, what just happened? Well,
Colby Covington.
He was a absolute. That was just like, and I said as soon as he won it, I'm like, this is not going to even happen because they don't give a shit. There's just no order to follow. It's it's honestly a really crazy time in the UFC, and for up and coming fighters, that would be the last place that I would sign to. The last. When I hear people going, I can't wait to get to the UFC, I'm like, you're a fucking idiot. I wouldn't ever sign a contract with them as an on-air personality. I would never, not in a million years, you wouldn't catch me doing that. Look at what Jimmy Smith. He doesn't have a contract coming up with them because they would rather give it to fighters, which I love. I think that fighters should have a job after fighting. I think it's great. However, that man left Bellator. You know what I mean? It's just crazy.
See, folks, and in the business, this is what you're going to call a segue. Because what she just said, keep following Psyche Prods on Facebook because I'm going to have an announcement later this week. It's called a tease, and I'm not telling anybody what it is.
Teaser! Hashtag.
And number 6 from Rudy Asher. Do you think Stipe should take a fight soon if it's not going to be with DC?
Oh, gosh. I mean, honestly, if anybody deserves a rematch, just because, like, I can't believe they passed him over in the way that they did. But, I mean, Stipe should absolutely be getting that rematch with DC. That should be his next fight. That should be DC's next fight. I don't see it happening because, Dana White does what Dana White wants. And if it's not going to happen, I would take a fight. But also, I have a thing for integrity, and I have a really soft spot in my heart for standing up for what you believe in. And if he feels that he deserves the title fight next, then I would be fighting my damnedest to get that fight if I was him.
I agree. So, since I don't have the roulette wheel to give away a free prize, pick a number from 1 to 6.
Okay. 4.
Susan Walker, congratulations.
The only girl. See, it's meant to be, Susan. Girls gotta stick together.
And on that note, for Kerry Stellan, check out MMAUK.net. In the Girls' Corner, Effective Aggression. In a few seconds from now, we got Pinups, Cool Cats, and Comics coming up. And until next week, everybody, like I tell you guys every single week, just because you right there are not an athlete doesn't mean you can't be an athletic supporter. Bye-bye.